Hello everyone, welcome to the Manisha Mishra show, and today I'm thrilled to introduce our guest. Her name is Miss Smritika and she comes with a unique background. So let me take the opportunity to first introduce her. She is an engineer, manufacturing engineer turned an artist who followed her passion towards cinematography and photography. Now she's working with her clients to take out their inner and outer beauty. She's a sound healer, helping people to get to their well-being through sound, and she is doing exceptionally well in her career, reaching out to a lot of people, making a great impact in the lives of people through her work of photography, cinematography, and sound healing. So, welcome, Smritika. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm truly, truly grateful to you for accepting my invitation and accepting the invitation to be here to share your wisdom, your knowledge, and years of experience that you bring with yourself in my show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for having me on your show. And your energy is so infectious that I feel so excited for this podcast with you today. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Loved it. So, let's jump into the question section. So the very first question, which I would love to ask from you, is a little bit about your journey because I have visited your Instagram profile and I have known you through like other sources as well. So it really inspires me that how you followed your passion. You have done your degree in manufacturing engineering, and then you turned out to be a cinematographer and photographer following your passion, and then in self-help industry where you are a sound healer, right? So
Yes.
just introduce yourself a more bit, because when it will come from you, it will be an entirely different experience for the audiences. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, a little bit about me is I am an introvert by nature. So, as a child, that's a tough place to be in as an introverted kid because we have so much to express, but then
Yeah.
we don't really have the means to express what we do, and there's so much
Mm-hmm.
comparison that we do. Like extroverted kids, they seem to
Yeah.
get more of what they want, whereas introverted children, we have a tough time expressing ourselves. And
Yeah.
I realized that uh, as a child, I really love to
Mm-hmm.
listen to the stories of others. And
Okay.
while listening to these stories, I realized that people don't perceive themselves for who they truly are, and they have very
Mm-hmm.
distorted views about themselves, which was being fed by someone else. And this was, I was seeing this in all age groups, be it my age or someone elder to me. And somewhere, I think this pursuit of this whole journey has been towards healing of
Mm-hmm.
all these inner wounds that we all go through as we go through life. So that's how I went. I mean, like how they say, finish school, get into college. So manufacturing engineering, it happened because that's the mainstream way to do it. But
Okay.
photography was something that I started out in school as a hobby, and it carried on through my college, through my corporate days as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then I quit my corporate to get into my passion of photography and videography. And ultimately, what I realized is that even photography, it was more about healing. How people
Yeah.
look at themselves changed a lot when they get beautiful pictures shot by them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the next step was naturally to get into the healing space. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel more than me selecting sound healing, I think sound healing chose me.
Okay. Brilliant. Very nice. Beautiful. The way you have expressed yourself, that you being an introvert, then you are working towards making people let their personality come out. What an exceptional journey. And I have, I think, forgotten to tell our audience that you are also a Bharatnatyam dancer. So many congratulations to you that you bring so many titles and so many accolades with you.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, I would love to jump into my first question. which is
Yes, please.
what is sparked your shift from engineering to cinematography, because we are talking about igniting your spark today. So what was that particular moment? How have you decided to shift to this particular space?
There was this, okay, since you asked for a specific moment, I always found it very weird that when I was sitting for campus placements, we have all
Mm-hmm.
these companies coming in, right? And then they play these PPT presentation and then the
Yeah.
videos of their company. And I
Hmm.
always used to wonder, oh, how did they take this shot? So I
Okay.
was always interested in the videos that they were showing than thinking of
Mm-hmm.
how to get this job. And I found that
Mm-hmm.
like very weird because all my other friends were thinking about how to get the placement. And by God's
Okay.
grace, I did get into a very good corporate. I had a wonderful corporate life. But I think that was a moment that made me realize that I wanted to do something more than just the regular corporate life. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel engineering taught me a lot of technical problem solving, a logical
Okay.
approach to solutions. And
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel, especially photography, videography, or cinematography, it is again
Mm-hmm.
problem solving, but in a very
Mm.
creative way. So
Yeah.
I felt that my engineering actually helps me a lot in my photography, videography career.
Hmm. Brilliant.
And as I already mentioned, ma'am, we find so many people so beautiful. And if you go tell them that, you
Hmm.
know what, you're so beautiful, they're like, me? Are you saying I'm beautiful? We've all
Yeah.
had scenarios like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you ask them, why do you have this perception? They say it's because someone told them something when they were younger, or some
Yeah.
random person might have commented, but people carry that hurt through all their life. And I felt these are common patterns that were repeating whenever I interacted with people. And I felt, other than my work, when I did these photography gigs, I felt I could help people open up more about themselves and change their perception about how they look or how they react or emote. So these are like the little things that I found very beautiful between my corporate life, whereas when I was doing photography, videography side by side.
Wow, brilliant. What a beautiful answer. That particular the line that you said now, that people label themselves on the basis of judgments of others. And it happens like with like most of us, it happens when we are in our childhood, as we grow up, people, someone or the other, they will come and they will say something, and that will just be just stuck on our mind, and we think like hum aise hi hain, right? So
Absolutely.
what a beautiful approach towards this photography, where you are turning people's own perceptions about themselves into their inner and outer beauty. Amazing, brilliant, kudos to you,
Thank
beautiful
you.
work. Now I would love to jump into another question, which is how does self awareness impact how we see our beauty? And how does your work empower people in this way?
This was such a powerful question. Even while reflecting on it, what came
Yeah.
up to me is anything that we do is an extension of us, our beliefs, our perceptions. So I feel the
True.
first way to answer this question is what I thought beauty was, according to me. And as a
Mm-hmm.
child who is exposed to like these complexion ads and
Mm-hmm.
like now there's so much inclusivity in the media, but when we were younger it was not the case. So there
Yeah.
was a lot of perception. I didn't like my curly hair. I have like very curly hair, and I never
Beautiful
liked my
hairs.
curly hair. I never
Okay.
realized it.
Okay.
I hated the fact that it's curly. I
Oh.
hated the fact that I'm not like fair, or I didn't like my
Mm-hmm.
nose, or I didn't like the curves of my body. It was like
Mm-hmm.
so much, I couldn't see my own self-worth initially. And
Hmm.
what happened is I realized that as a child, I was having a very difficult time looking at the beauty in others also, because I myself was subscribed to so many other people's beliefs of what beauty looked like. And I feel
Hmm.
that is the first thing that I had to work on, which is to understand the holistic sense of beauty.
Hmm.
And the more I started learning about photography, we learned so much about lighting for different face shapes, different skin
Hmm.
textures. And it's
Mm-hmm.
never about shooting perfect people. We are shooting everyday people who come in different
Yeah.
shapes, sizes,
Yeah.
forms, they have
Yeah. Yeah.
different energy levels. And there
Yeah.
is so much acceptance that I think my work has helped me understand. Every day is a learning. And I feel uh, that is something that I enjoy because no 2 days are alike. You never shoot the same person every day, right? We meet
Yeah.
so many different people. And
Um,
I feel the more I started accepting myself, I felt I was able to I could see a drastic difference in my work also. And one thing I really wanted to do with my work is to have inclusivity. And I feel
mhm.
I'm very proud when I say that if
Mhm.
you go through my website today, you will see people I photographed from all different walks of life, right from
Yeah.
models to entrepreneurs, people who have different backdrops, they have different
Hmm.
choices, personal
Yeah. Yeah.
styling, they look so widely different. And
Yeah.
I feel what has commonly helped all of them is the comfort that you give them when they come in front of the camera. It might be
Mm-hmm.
someone very famous or someone who's just starting out in the career, but when they're in front of
Mm-hmm.
you, when you treat them as just a soul who is baring
Hmm.
themselves in front of the lens, you give them that
Mm-hmm.
comfort, their inner authenticity comes out. And
Hmm.
ever since I got into healing, okay, so by nature, I am a very
Mm-hmm.
introspective person. And I
Hmm.
feel a lot of beauty, if you see, ma'am, like the beauty standards keep changing every 10 years, every decades. And I
Yeah.
really question myself on like, what is beauty? Because what
Hmm.
was considered beautiful 10 years ago, it's so different now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
since I got into healing, I realized that what's beautiful is energy. And a person can look however they look, like different features, but when they are in that elevated energy level of happiness and joy, I feel all of
Mm-hmm.
us look most beautiful when we are that. And
Hmm.
through my photography work and videography work, I try my best to give people the comfort to be in that elevated sense of happiness or joy where they can just forget all their worries. They can forget their titles, the burden of the titles. Sometimes people carry, I'm a
Hmm.
CEO, I'm this, I'm that, mother, father.
Yeah.
Leave all of that and they're just a person. And I truly feel that is my definition of how what I would say beauty is. Beauty is equal to elevated energy.
Wow. Beautiful. Wonderful line. Beauty is equal to elevated energy. What a beautiful answer. I mean, I loved it the way you explained it now when you were yourself not clear about the definition of beauty. You had a lot of misconceptions about your own self, and now how beautifully you are turning people's own images about themselves and making them feel so special that they love coming to you, they love working with you, and they're feeling so confident every single day when they're around your energy, I guess, because you operate with such a beautiful purpose, beautiful heart, and an amazing energy that I'm very sure the people who are around you, who will be there around you, will definitely feel a lot of love and confidence, and obviously it will definitely lead to be the no like major milestones of their lives and yours as well. So many congratulations for how you are impacting the lives of people. I'm really loving the conversation. Thank you so much. Now,
Thank you, ma'am.
uh, I would love to jump into the another question, which is beyond skills. What aspects of self-awareness are crucial for aspiring artists today?
Oh, this I have so much to say because I struggled a lot because the shift from being a part-time artist to a full-time
Mhm.
artist, it was a very huge jump.
Yeah.
And it took me almost a year and a half to even shift from my corporate mindset to being an artist full time because suddenly I have all the freedom of time in the world. Now, what
Yeah.
to do with so much time? Like nobody is policing you except for the fact that you have bills to pay. There's no other element policing you. There's
Yeah.
no boss
Yeah. Yeah.
behind you or anything. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like few things I want to say is what aspects of self-awareness is the first one is to know your own values, because
Mm-hmm.
our value system, I mean, everybody has values, but to become
Yeah.
aware of what our core values are, like the top three or top five, that really
Yeah.
helped me a lot. Because as an artist, we are collaborating with so many people, we have so many
Hmm.
clients that we have, but
Mm-hmm.
like through my entrepreneurial journey also, I realized not everybody is your client, and you don't have to collaborate with everybody. you
Okay.
Collaborations work best when your value systems are similar between you and your
Hmm.
client or another artist. It makes
True.
the whole
True.
process very easy. So the
Yeah.
first one is value system, and the second one is to know if you are an introverted or an extroverted person. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're an introverted person like me, then you need constant breaks, and that's okay, and you shouldn't feel guilty about taking breaks to now and then, as in when you require, because you're made very differently from another person. So the
Yeah. Yeah.
second one is to know what kind of a person you are, introverted or extroverted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the third is, as an artist, I feel we go through a lot of emotional ups and downs. We are very extra emotional or sensitive,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also there's
True.
so much self doubt that creeps in. We know we are good,
Hmm.
but still, when we start a new project, there's always that
Yeah.
doubt of, am I going to do it well? So, what
Hmm.
I found is, to deal with this self doubt, I go back to my website, I go through all the pictures or the videos that I have shot. I make sure
Hmm.
I collect my testimonials from my clients, and going through them, it gives me that sense of purpose that, okay, I'm on the right track, I'm going to nail this. So,
Yeah.
these positive affirmations really help. And this is the third point, which is managing your emotions and self doubt. Fourth is
Mm-hmm.
to seek feedback and growth, because
Okay.
awareness, sometimes we also have distorted views about ourselves. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when we reach out to, it's so important to have mentors like what you are doing, guiding so many people to live their best life.
Yeah.
And it's so important to have a personal coach, be it their personal life or a professional life, because feedback is so crucial. And
Hmm.
again, feedback should also be taken from the right person, someone
Very
who
true.
is in
True.
similar value systems as us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
seeking feedback. And the fifth one is to maintain authenticity, because
Hmm.
if you don't know yourself and if you keep doing something because it's trending, or if you
Hmm.
choose certain projects because for other reasons, but if your heart is very unhappy, it's going to show
Yeah.
up either in your work or it's going to show up in your health. So
Hmm.
I feel the fifth point of maintaining authenticity in whatever we do is very important for aspiring artists to be happy in their journey in creating art. So these
Wow.
are 5 points.
So let me just sum up these five points or five what the crucial aspects required for being an aspiring artist, right? So number one, you have talked about it was very beautiful when you said that it is very important to have your own value system, and you do not resonate with each and everyone who comes into your life. So this is really important to understand, and this is really so nice to know that you cannot resonate with everyone, and everyone is not your client, everyone is not your person. So very first thing that you should look around the people who match with your value system. Number two, you
Absolutely.
talked about it is very important to know about yourself. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? There is no like there is nothing differentiate between both the personalities. Both the personalities have their own
Absolutely.
beauties, right? So adore your own beauty. Number third, you have talked about the self doubt. So what a beautiful practice you do. Like you, when you feel self doubt, you go to your website, you visit your own work, your testimonials, and the appreciation of clients. And this particular practice is really so strong and impactful that everyone, when he or she feels any kind of self doubt or challenges or problems, it is very important to reflect back that problems came earlier also, challenges came earlier also, doubts were also there, but I came across, I overcame those particular things in my past, so I can do this at present as well. Beautiful. And the fourth point you talked about feedback. So taking
Mentors,
so
having mentors
taking
like you to keep people on track.
yeah, so taking feedbacks constructively and also from the people who are authentic. It is very important. You cannot take feedbacks from everyone who is around you, because
Yes.
everyone do not understand you. So selecting the people and selecting the feedback and taking the feedback constructively is very important. And at the end, you said that you should always maintain your authenticity, so which plays very crucial role in shaping your own personality and this creating your self awareness and making you ready to reach to the path of success. So thank you so much for sharing these beautiful 5 points, and I'm very sure that whoever is an aspiring artist who is going to watch this podcast later on, definitely going to inculcate these points from you in their lives, and definitely going to create their own life that they want to create in their own way. So thank you so much for sharing these. Now
Thank you.
yeah, I would love to jump into my another question, which is how have your experiences in dance and sound healing impacted your self awareness and approach to igniting passions?
This is this is one of my favorite questions because all art forms are so interrelated, especially
Mm-hmm.
sound and music.
Yeah.
And I feel like whether our mind knows or not, our body will always know what is right and what is not right for us. Sometimes
Okay.
that vibe that we sense about people,
Mm-hmm.
you always feel it in your body. And this whole topic about awareness is to become more aware of what your body is trying to tell you. And the
Okay.
best way, like some people find meditation difficult. Okay, they find it easy, they do meditation. Or
Yeah.
if they are more hands-on, they like more of 100% involvement kind of thing, then
Yeah.
dance is definitely a beautiful way to connect between that mind and body
Mm-hmm.
connect. And I
Yeah.
feel it really increases your sense of awareness, because in
Mm-hmm.
that moment it's just the music and you. There's no one else
Yeah.
in the conversation. It's just
True.
you moving your limbs. And that is something that I feel like that's the highest form of connection you can have to yourself. When you're truly aware, you're able to feel emotions in your body. When you're able to
Yeah.
cry, when you're able to let go of things. When you cry, your body shudders when you cry.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
these are all ways that your body is speaking to you. If you're tired,
Mm-hmm.
get more sleep. If you feel
Hmm.
stressed, then go dance or do yoga, do gymming. I love to
Yeah.
work out also. And I feel there are moments when we dance or when you work out, there are moments when you're pushing yourself so much that suddenly
Mm-hmm.
you break down and you cry. And
Yeah.
after you do it,
True.
there's an immense sense of relief. And the
Yeah.
same goes with sound healing also, because
Mm-hmm.
sound is extremely healing. And
Yeah.
when you allow yourself to when you allow your body and your mind to for the divine sounds to flow through you, there are different
Hmm.
energies that will get unblocked in you. And it's a
Okay.
very different experience each time you
Yeah.
do it, even for the same person. So no
Okay.
two experiences are the same, but there
Hmm.
is a huge shift that you sense in yourself. And the other one is, I think what really helped me is that both these things help
Mm-hmm.
me realize it increased my spiritual connection more,
Mm-hmm.
because there is this sense of there's something bigger than us.
Yeah.
And I feel I was someone who struggles with surrendering. every like my family, they can tell that, don't get so stressed about this outcome. Maybe it will come, maybe it won't come. Just surrender. It's easy to say surrender, but in reality, to let things go is
Yeah,
like something
yeah.
I found it very, very difficult. But when I
Hmm.
started doing my sound healing, when I do my dance, I just, there is that sense of something beyond this, and there's a sense of
Hmm.
connectivity that comes through when I go for my dance class. There are the other girls who are there, and I feel
Hmm.
just being around other artists, you're here for the same purpose. I
Yeah.
feel that sense of community, like as coach, you have your own community, and when people come back to your classes, they feel that elevated energy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I feel the same way when I go to my dance class. Even when I'm low, I feel so pumped up seeing the other girls who are in my dance class. Or be
Yeah.
it my sound healing session, I do one-on-one sound healing sessions also. But I
Mm-hmm.
personally enjoy my group sound healing sessions because when people
Okay.
show up together, the group
Hmm.
energy is just something else. And the fact that you create a safe space for people to
Yeah.
open up, and when all these there are blocks that unopen for them, when we go back to a WhatsApp chat, and then a day later or 2 days later they say, you know what, this shifted, this changed, and then there's all of us cheering for that person. I feel that sense of connectivity, and there's something beyond us. And
Hmm.
I feel like I stopped being the doer, and I what is that, I'm not the doer, but I'm just a channel for good things to
Hmm.
maybe flow through me. And I
Hmm.
feel the more I remind myself that I am just a channel and I'm not the one doing it, I feel it gave me immense relief to
Yeah.
be truly in the present moment, be it my photography work or be it my healing.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of pressure off me. And I truly believe that sound and dance is something that really helps me to be in the moment and be very mindful.
Hmm. Nice. Beautiful. I am just, just loving each and every word that you're sharing. Everything is coming from your own personal story, and it's just so amazing. And it is really, you very well said that, your calling always makes you do something for your own self. It's very important to listen to that calling. And as you said that surrendering was not easy for you, but the work that you are doing, you're truly enjoying both of your works. You're truly into your passion, and that is ultimately giving you that utmost happiness. And now you are connected with the energies of the people. You are spiritually elevated, and you have a very beautiful energy. So that is what how a person, becomes so amazing, so beautiful, when he or she truly finds that calling and work towards the purpose and impact lot of lives. And the way people come back to you, they share their own experiences. The girls who are there, dance classes, the people who are there, healing sessions. It's really an incredible experience to see the changes that they are, experiencing, and you
Yeah.
are making each and everyone happy. So many congratulations
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you.
And one thing I just want to add is I think like passion is something beyond just us. Like
Yeah,
me being in my room doing something that
yeah.
is very different from us living a fulfilling life, because I
Hmm.
feel when if I don't show up for
Yeah.
doing my photography work, or if I don't show up for my sound healing, if I don't make
Mm-hmm.
an effort, then I feel I'm depriving a lot of people of these beautiful memories that you can create, or that
True.
emotional freedom that they want. So I feel
Hmm.
for all of us, our passion is something that's beyond us. It's
Yeah.
just that something that we do that gives us that sense of fulfillment and a meaningful
Yeah.
life. So for
And
me, when I feel low, I always remind
uh-huh.
myself of this, that if I'm not showing up, then I'm going to deprive people. So I might as well push and go do that work.
Yeah, true, very true. That gives you a drive, and that's really so special, and it is very special for each and every one, because your passion, the work, if you are truly doing the work that you really want to do, it gives you every single day that drive to get up and just start working, keeping aside all the hurdles and challenges. So very nice, very, very nicely put. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, beautiful nuggets from your own life. So, my next question from you is can you share with us some practices that you do on your workshops or classes to find people their own creative passions or make them connect with their creative passions?
Yes, sure. So when it comes to the healing workshops that I do, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I generally get them to do a free writing session
Okay.
because a lot of us we are so loaded by information that we don't
Mm-hmm.
even make time to process most of it or our own feelings. We are not sure of what we are even thinking. So free writing
Yeah.
really helps people to connect to themselves. And
Mm.
another thing is I had like someone in my like workshop. He just wrote 3 lines and then he stopped and he was like, I don't know what to write. And
Okay.
that's when I realized that people, so if you're able to write without stopping, that shows,
Hmm.
that helps you to get yourself into that flow state. And when you're in a flow state for writing, or be it even texting or typing, you would also
Hmm.
automatically, you are in a flow state for your other creative endeavors as well. So I feel
Hmm.
like that free writing really helps me a lot to unblock and get all my noise out of my head. That,
Okay.
and then there are like creative expressions through arts. Like I like to get people to do something with their hands, like be it
Okay.
coloring mandalas or creating something with their hand, something like color
Okay.
therapy, and
Hmm.
that. And then of course there are group shares, and
Mm-hmm.
mostly I ask people to get into groups without their family, so they'll feel more comfortable opening
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
people.
True. True.
And also, every time we meet someone new, there's a new perspective,
Yeah.
I think. And it's a new energy that we meet, which brings out a different energy in us as well. And I feel
Hmm.
this is like one main reason that I love group sessions. And when it comes to my photography workshops, I
Mm-hmm.
bring a lot of my healing element into my photography workshop because
Hmm.
before healing and after I started getting into healing, I see a difference in myself, especially the way I look at my subject as well. So
Mm-hmm.
my photography workshop, I never teach them just lighting. It's never just that. I teach them a lot about like how's the person in front of the lens feeling, what can you do to
Okay.
make them comfortable, and
Hmm.
getting people to cheer the person in front of the camera. So a
Hmm.
lot of the soft skills part also I teach in my photography workshop. And I feel both are very interweaved into my life now. So these are few
Hmm.
practices and practical exercises that I make my participants do in my workshops.
Wow. Very nice. That free writing really helps. It's really like it's really nice to at least write down each and everything, throw it out once, just see what is the chattering going on inside your mind. And when we write all these things, we sometimes it becomes very like very surprising for us to look to that paper and see that, oh my God, actually I was thinking this, I was not even aware of it. So beautiful exercise. This is really, I think that this really helps a lot of people. And yes, obviously, if you are a healer, you always intend to bring that healing element into your work, into your personal space, everywhere it comes, like, and you weaving your healing work with your photography is amazing because like connecting with people and then working with them really creates a different story, different scenario, and a different impact. Wonderful work you are doing. Many congratulations to you for the work that you are doing. So now I think we are at the end of our podcast. So the very last question I want to ask from you is what advice do you have for listeners on a journey of self-discovery to find their spark?
Another favorite question of mine, and like what I'll be listing are things that I constantly have done, and now when I look back, I'm able to connect my dots. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is to be curious and to have an open mind, because
Okay.
you're going to meet so many people from very different backdrops, very different upbringings that shows up in the way they talk, the way they handle situations. So to just be open to not to try to be less judgmental and to just
Okay.
experience these emotions or experiences. That's the first one. The second
Mm-hmm.
one is to make time for yourself so
Hmm.
that you can reflect and also re-examine if there are areas in your life, like are you
Hmm.
happy with the people you're working, are you
Hmm.
happy doing the work that you're doing, or do you
Yeah.
feel you deserve to take this to a different level, or is
Yeah.
there any shift, or is there a different approach you'd like to take? So making time for yourself to just sit with yourself and to
Hmm.
examine if you're happy in life doing what
Yeah.
you're doing. I think
Hmm.
that me time is very crucial. And
Mm-hmm.
the third point is to listen to your inner voice. And that
Hmm.
listening to inner voice, it's actually active for all of us. All of us have
Yeah.
our inner voice, our inner wisdom. But
Yeah.
it's just that, we should make time to listen to what that inner voice is saying. And I
Hmm.
always had this doubt of, okay, is it a little voice, my
Yeah.
fears talking, or is it
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
inner voice? And
Hmm.
I just came across this information that
Mm-hmm.
said that if it's your inner voice, it will be a
Mm-hmm.
very subtle and a very gentle way of telling you that no, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. It's a very
Okay.
gentle voice that tells.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's your fear, it's a very loud noise that is giving you like all the worst case scenarios that could go wrong.
Hmm.
So,
Okay. Wow.
for me, that was like one bulb on moment.
For me too.
And because the more you listen to your inner voice, the more we trust
Hmm.
ourselves. And if we don't know to
Hmm.
differentiate between the two, sometimes we blame ourselves harshly for listening to the little voice, the
Yeah.
harsh
Yeah.
voice,
Yeah.
than the inner
Yeah.
voice. So, third point is listening to the inner voice. And the
Hmm.
fourth one is we are all very imperfect. We live in a social media time where everything seems perfect. People seem happy every day, but it's very easy to buy into all of it. But
Hmm.
end of the day, we are going to be extremely imperfect. It's only a pursuit for excellence. It's not a pursuit
Okay.
for perfection. And
Hmm.
I think for me, that line has helped me a lot to come out of the perfectionism part of it, my self-discovery journey. And
Okay.
the next point is to surround yourself with like-minded people with similar
Hmm.
values, people
Hmm.
who want to see you grow, to
Hmm.
have good role models and mentors. And ma'am, I feel in my journey to increase my self-worth or self-image, what I did is, in my Instagram, I only followed people who maybe had similar features like me, or maybe they were
Hmm.
in similar profession, or
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
women photographers or women healers, because I felt I could relate to them more. So I started, even the content that I consume, I made
Hmm.
sure that it's something who is in alignment with myself and my values. So that truly helped me a lot. And the last point is, as creative people, we have so many dreams. We want to do so many things, but
Hmm.
then it's so easy to get stuck in that analysis paralysis of having too many ideas to do. And then at the
Hmm.
end of it, I think a lot of us creatives end up with anxiety because you have so many ideas, but you're not
Yeah.
really executing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like now I am also trying to be more mindful of executing my ideas. I might have 100 ideas, but now I'm more conscious of the fact that to keep my anxiety at bay, taking action, and maybe it's a decision that you're making, or maybe a
Hmm.
call back to someone, or answering someone's
Hmm.
text that you've been avoiding, or this
Yeah.
making decisions then and there. I
Yeah.
think taking that action to make a decision. And so
Hmm.
these are things that has really helped me. And the last point is everything that we do makes sense only if it is true to ourselves. So anything that
Okay.
we do, we just have to make sure that it is authentic to ourselves. And
Hmm.
knowing us, we'll only know only when we make mistakes and we know
Hmm.
that okay, this is not me. And I feel that
Hmm.
method of
Yeah.
elimination method of, okay, you try this, then you realize this
Hmm.
is you or this is not you. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
that is like the best way to know who you are, is just to try and see. If you like it, do more of it. If you don't, you know that it's not for
Hmm.
you. So these
Wow.
are few things that has helped me in my journey of self discovery and awareness.
Wow, beautiful. Very nice. I'm very sure that the people who are going to watch this are definitely going to learn and love a lot from you. The best part, which is still there in my mind, is when you differentiated between that inner voice and your fear. It's a very and that was a bulb on moment for me when you explained it so beautifully and so in a simple way, that your inner voice is always very gentle. It will tell you
Absolutely.
that you want to do something, it is for you. But the other voice is the voice of fears, where that particular mindset only tells you the repercussions, the disasters that you may create after choosing that particular thing. So it's very important to have that understanding that this is your inner voice, you should listen to it. These are your fears, you should overcome these. Wonderful. So it was really nice talking to you, Smritika. I loved it. Thank you so much for joining in with me and being the part of my show. I'm very sure that the people and me too, I have learned a lot from you throughout the conversation. I'm definitely going to watch it once again and write down each and everything, whatever you have shared with us. And the people who are going to watch this are definitely going to be benefited a lot. So thank you so much for being my guest. I'm so grateful to you. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for having me on your show, ma'am. And your energy, and you have this very gentle, calm energy, which helps puts us also at ease to open up and share these beautiful points. And I just love that we never spoke about what we are wearing, but somehow we are reflecting each other's theme of like a sweater top with like Indo-Western Indian jewelry with like
Yeah.
Western top.
Yeah.
So there are no coincidences in life, and I'm so glad that you were so gracious to have me on your show. Thank you very much for having me, ma'am.
Thank you.